Hi, this is Lee with Crashtesthobby showing you how to build the Pinata. Here are the parts in the kit. We're going to start by rubbing the parts together to remove the cut fibers. You can also use a razor just to shave them off. We're using low temperature hot glue to glue the two cores together. Actually the three cores together in this case. Let them cool. The foam insulates it and makes it take longer to cool. I'm putting the spars back 6 inches. There will be a top and a bottom spar across the middle of the plane. Sand the spars so the glue will stick. I mark the width of the spars, and that metal yardstick is also pinned in place so that it won't move. And then test the spar in the slot, make sure it goes all the way down. Before gluing, flip it over and put your spar in the bottom of the wing. It is also back 6 inches. The spars should be directly over each other. And using the soldering iron, I cut the slot. Now, the soldering iron tip, I've got a wheel color on it to set the depth so that I don't overcut too deep of a hole. Using hot glue, I put the hot glue into the slot and press the spar in on the bottom of the wing first. Because of the airfoil, the top of the spar has to be held in place. And as you can see, I just grew 2 more hands, and that helped hold the spar down while it cooled. Using a razor blade, I go around the perimeter of the wing. This is to install the shock cord. Now on this particular plane, you could trim that center section off, but you'll notice that I'm putting the shock cord across right where it is in line with where the shock cord will be in the wings. That center section helps to quiet the plane down, and we have found that that's worth it to do this little modification here. I put the shock cord in the slit. It's got baking soda on it to help it cure faster when we put the CA glue on it. And just using a Phillips screwdriver, we go around the perimeter of the plane. Shock cord needs to be tight or it won't work, but I've seen shock cords put in that are so tight that they warp the wing, so be careful of how you do it. Notice how the shock cord goes across that center extension and then back out the other wing. And you'll notice that I keep pulling on it to tighten it down, and then I'll bring it back to the starting point and we'll tie a knot in it. Now I'm just using a small Phillips screwdriver to insert that shock cord. Now using thin CA glue, I go around the perimeter of the wing. I actually recommend you do this outside. If you don't have a ventilation system, this can burn your eyes and nose. But when that CA glue hits the baking soda on the shock cord, it sticks it in place. We're now going to put the formica plates in place, one in the top, one on the bottom. This is so that you can actually put a bolt up through the formica plate in order to give more strength. It also ties it into the spars. Glue using low temperature hot glue. I put the glue on the foam. Don't put it on the formica or it'll set immediately. Put it on the foam. And then press the formica in place. It's amazing how strong this is at this point. Using the extreme tape, which is bidirectional fibers, I put a piece directly over the center of the spar. Now this is the top of the wing. I do it different on the top and the bottom. I'm going to start at the front and put 2 pieces back. And taking a razor blade or a pair of scissors, I'll trim it so that I can cut relief cuts so that it will wrap around the edge. Sometimes you have to use some sort of an adhesive solvent to get the glue off the scissors or even the razor blade. The reason I don't put the entire top is because of weight, and also because you're going to be cutting through to put your radio in. Now on the bottom of the wing, piece over the spar, and then we're going to go all the way forward with this. And this is going to be the bottom of your battery box, it's going to be the bottom of your radio box, and it's also going to make it so that this plane can go fly combat, and very little is going to happen to the plane. This is the main weight that's added to the plane. If you want to build light, cut back on how much tape you use. Then we put a piece of tape along the leading edge to tie everything together and wrap it around the edge. And then we're going to cut a relief cut right in the middle and wrap the nose. The nose is what takes most of the hard hits. This really holds the plane together well. Doing the other side now. So wrap that leading edge, fold the tape, one up, one down, trim the edge, and here's the piece for the nose. And once again, do the relief cuts. There's a lot of ends here, but when you laminate, it will tie all those ends together. Thank you for watching video 1. Video 2 will show you how to laminate.